Okay, parents. So I wanted to go over a little bit about this Brigance testing that we've done so you kind of understand. I'm going to have your child's ready for you tomorrow. I just put a fake name. I put mom, apparently, and dad. So right here, there's a chance here. Maybe your child can tell me their first name. They would, get it circled. For everything that they get right, it would be circled. And then I take it over here to the side and score it. So, for instance, they got 3 out of 4. Maybe they couldn't tell me their street address, which is fine because they are 4 years old. And then I would just score it. Up here, they, most of them all know their colors. We're going to learn them anyway. And so what would happen is if they didn't know any of their colors, it would not be circled, and they would get a 0 on this part, and that would be their score. So back over here, they're shown pictures, so they can tell me scissors, snake, ladder, leaf, owl, and these 3 right here are some of the ones that they struggle on. They might say bird for duck, and I'm not allowed to ask them again. A lot of them don't know what a wagon is. And then sometimes they'll say screw for nail, or pin, or sharp thing. They might say things like that, which is okay because then they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then they get 5 points for that. On this part, they are shown these particular things, and I will say, okay, here's a circle. Can you draw a circle right here? And they will draw a circle on a piece of paper I gave them. This is a plus sign. Can you draw a plus sign right there? This is an X. Can you draw an X right there? And remember that if there's something on here that they can do, one-day testing does not show exactly everything that they learn. Or everything that they know. We all know that. We all have off days, and that's okay because this is a pre-test. At the end of the year, we're going to do a post-test, and we want to see that score over here. We want to see that score go up. So no worries about that. Don't worry about going, oh my gosh, look how much my kid does not know. Don't worry about that. There's going to be a lot of skills that they're going to learn. And the Brigance Test, this is, if you notice, is a 4-year-old child data sheet. This is screening the 4-year-olds to see what they know. Some of them, may just have turned 4. So it's all about what do I need to teach them. So on this part right here where it says, visual discrimination, I'll show you the book. I'll go to the book and I will say, this is a cat, a bird, a cat, and a cat. This is not a cat because it is a bird. So it is different. It is not the same. And a lot of times I'll use paper to hide the ones we're not looking at because it confuses them. So I will say, can you point to the shape that is different? So if they get them all, they will get the full 10 points. Sorry about the announcements. Hopefully that's not too loud. So it states on the paper that I give testing that if they get the first 3 in a row wrong, I don't test them for the rest. So if they're not circled, that means they didn't get the first 3. I'm sorry. So I skipped that part when I was talking. Another thing over here is walking heel to toe. This is the physical part that we'll work on when we do activities, dancing, things outside. So sometimes a child can hop on one foot but not the other. Or they might be able to balance on one foot and not the other. If you notice, we prefer and have better balance on one of our legs more than the other. But at the end of the year, I have hopes that we all are able to circle all 5 of these. And then walking heel to toe is pretty much about balance, walking in a straight line for balance. When we come to the body parts, just so they know what I'm trying to ask for, I may ask them, can they show me their nose first? Because I want to get them ready to understand they're starting to point to body parts. Thumbs is, maybe they don't know what their thumbs are. Maybe they just pointed to fingers. So they wouldn't get that point. So I'd go over here and I would score that. the 2-step directions and the 3-step directions. One of the 3-step directions I will do is I will put a pencil in front of them and say, could you please stand up, please stand up, put this pencil in your chair, and scoot the chair under. And that gives me an idea about when they're in the classroom and I'm telling them certain things to do. Do I need to go slower when I'm telling them? Do I need to repeat the 3rd step? This lets me know how I need to speak to them on a daily basis and how to gain that knowledge of teaching them to do multiple steps. This one I wanted to show an example. Let's say your child can only count to 5, but then they can't count the 5 objects for me. So I want to explain this part. I will put 3 objects down and I will say, can you count these blocks? Tell me how many you have. And if they say 1, 2, 3, and they count it and they tell me 3. If I put 2 more out and say, can you count them now? And they don't touch them, they don't, maybe they count to 3, but then they just go 4, 5, 6, 7, and they just start, throwing their fingers everywhere, pointing to blocks that are not there. This just lets me know that their one-to-one correspondence of counting needs to just be strengthened so they can do it to 3, but it needs to be strengthened where they can go higher even if they can count to 5. So this right here just has to do with matching the quantities with the number. And then using 3 sentences in a word, that's just me having a regular conversation with them, because this part would be about, do they need speech and can I understand them? And if you'll notice, sometimes I'll put these little notes down here. This also shows me at the end of the year about some growth that I might see. So like I may put an explanation like 10B. They counted 3 objects, 1-to-1 correspondence. They did not count 1-to-1 to 5. That's just an explanation. You might see something down here that says, they didn't tell me their age. Maybe they put up 3 fingers and I say, how much is that? And they can't tell me. So maybe what they show me and what they say is different and I can't count them for that. If your child scored less than a 60 out of 100, I tested them again. If they scored a low score again of that, we keep the second score. The thing is, I don't want you upset. I don't want you to see, 61, 70. That's normal for the first year of pre-K. So don't get upset about that. That's okay, because later at the end of the year, we'll start seeing 80, 85, 90, 95, okay? So don't forget about that. They've got a lot to grow, and that's the point of being in pre-K, so they can grow and they can learn all of these things. And you'll get to see more than just this. You'll get to see other tests that we do that shows a lot of growth that your kiddos are going to do this year. And we're super excited because we're already starting out with a really good year. Your kiddos are doing amazing with just repeating information that we have already learned in just 1 week's time. So I see good things coming out of this Brigance test. But I wanted to just explain what this was when you got it. And it was a paper that you signed stating that I could give this test. So this was the one that I gave. So if you have any additional questions, you just let me know. But I'll be handing your child's paper to you tomorrow, along with a copy of the goals that we listed for them for this year. Thank you.